Take this job and shove it. I ain't working here no more. Everybody's working for the weekend. Taking care of business every day. Now it's wow, 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 wow. Welcome to the working week.
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living.
Minimum wage.
We're here with another edition of the Working Lunch Radio Hour. I'm Jeff Turgeon, the host of the show, along with...
Sean McGauley, the co-host of the show.
And we're from the Central Mass Workforce Investment Board. Our board oversees the public workforce system in Worcester and 37 surrounding communities in southern Worcester County, helping bring to one unified table the voices of business and industry, as well as education, economic development, and other workforce-related groups and entities and agencies. So, excited to be here today. We actually have a guest producer today.
Yeah. Super producer Rob is in Kansas City for Skill Path.
That's right, Skills USA.
Skills USA.
Which is it's an amazing program. It takes young people from across the country that qualify through local competitions.
Through vocational schools.
Vocational schools. They basically, it's vocational school programs. They qualify by going to competitions where they demonstrate their knowledge of a given task or knowledge area, and then those presentations are judged, and then the winners get announced, and those winners earn the right to go to the national finals. I know there's several from Central Mass that have made it, including students from I believe Worcester Tech and Bay Path, as well as Monty Tech up to the north of us. So
yeah, and you actually did some judging of Skills USA yourself.
I don't want to brag. I don't want to brag at all, but I'll brag a little bit. It was an amazing day. It was an amazing day. They asked
I don't
me
want
to
to, but I will a little bit.
Yeah. So I was a judge over there at the competition a couple months ago, and just a great day. And these young people are so focused and so into seeing young people so into their chosen career path and their trade, and just proud of what they know and anxious to show it off. Of course, there's a bit of nerves to get in front of a panel of judges.
I bet. Which one did you judge?
Well, it was like a general competition. So I was like in the general category, which was like everything from students that did culinary production. So like basically almost like a mini cookie. They had, it's funny because these things are rigidly timed too. So they had to be between 3.5 minutes, I believe, and like 6 minutes. And if you go a little bit over, you get deducted for points. If you go under, you're deducted for points. And so we had young people making different sauces for us right in front of us. We had a gentleman who was showing us how to do a weld. Another gentleman who was actually, as part of like the enrichment piece, was showing how to do a specific beat on a drum and how to incorporate that into a march. And it was
very nice. I mean,
really like a little bit of everything. As some hairdressers that did some different things. I learned how to do. I am the proud father of
ponytail champ.
Of you know where I'm going with this one. So I have two daughters and a son, and so I learned how to do a sock bun.
That's a tough technique.
It is, well,
That's how I lost all my hair.
And so I was proud to go home and pull my daughters over to start demonstrating to them that I knew how to do this. I think
Yeah, and Bob was telling me.
My wife was horrified. No, you're not touching me.
Bob was telling me you were quite the tough judge too. He said you were the Simon Cowell of Skills USA.
Yeah, I guess they frown on making kids cry. Apparently
even when you fake an accent, British accent.
No, actually, everything went well, and there's really not, the judging's kind of done behind the scenes, and so there's not like a question and answer kind of thing. But just an amazing day. And so for those young people, and for our producer Bob Zakowski, who's he's been with the Skills USA program for a while, and so he's out in Kansas City on the national panel.
Hopefully listening with all his.
I would expect him to, right?
Absolutely.
And so we do have with us super producer part
local
2,
celebrity.
Right? Local celebrity. Troy Tyree, thank you for filling in so ably for us.
My pleasure. Thank you.
We're off to a great start with the theme playing on time. That was great. So, and our theme was produced by a local rising superstar Jesse Edwards.
Yes.
So, hey, lots going on out there in the workforce world, not the least of which is the launch officially, finally, I guess you might say, of an online system for unemployment insurance.
Right.
So, starting July 1st, claimants and companies will be interacting with the program, with the unemployment insurance program, through an online portal.
So right now, or the older system, people could actually go to the career centers, and there was a walk-in capacity.
There's a walk-in capacity, and then most of the people were kind of referred over to the phone system. The phone system is still going to be there.
Yep.
But it'll be combined with this new online, and so the walk-in component is technically going away. There'll still be access to the computers at the career centers.
Just no staff member there.
Yeah, I mean there'll be some staff to give some very basic
Guidance,
guidance, but we don't want to overstate that case. It's not like the staff are going to be doing every step of the process with people, but so there'll be some staff there to assist people, mainly with getting into the portal and making sure that they kind of understand kind of the screens that they're seeing. And then we're also going to be working with community partners. Obviously there's a lot of folks that lack computer access. And so, being able to go to the Worcester Public Library or to, some of our community partners that are out there, that ought to be a great help to them. And so we'll be launching that. And it's also, so it's an exciting step for the program.
I was about to say change is sometimes good. I was reading a little bit about it, and it sounds like there's going to be, instead of only being able to file for 5 days a week, now it's actually expanded to 7 days a week.
7 days. There is a window of time each day where they take all the information that's been loaded in, and they have to actually process that to get checks out, to update accounts or whatnot. So it's not actually a 24/7 operation.
Right, but even the time is expanded. Instead of normal business day hours, it's now, I think,
it's up to 10 o'clock.
What is it, 5 to 10 p.m.?
10 p.m. So, so hopefully it'll be more convenient for folks. I think there's going to be obviously a bit of
transition
adjustment
period, right?
with the transition. But then once that happens, the hope at the Career Center is that, folks will get seamless service with this system in support of the great career pathway counseling that they can get, and job guidance and placement assistance that they can get through the career centers. So, I think one of the challenges, especially lately with the downturn in the economy the past few years, has been, career center staff have had to kind of manage this overflow, if you will, of people who had employment insurance related problems or issues or questions, and now hopefully a large majority of those folks will be able to get self-service right online, convenient, fast, efficient, service, which would allow the Career Center to kind of readjust back to where their vision, originally was, which was really kind of concentrating on helping bridge that gap between employers and their needs with job seekers, and really kind of helping make that bridge and really helping job seekers understand, what's out there for them, what they should be doing if they're struggling to find reemployment or employment in some cases. So it's an opportunity, I think, for the career centers to kind of rebrand themselves back to what they had, I think, all along had hoped to be doing and concentrating on.
Yeah. And I also just wanted to mention, too, some of the new things that you're going to be able to do online. You're going to be able to check status of your claim. You can change your tax withholding deductions. You can manage direct deposit arrangements, and you can also submit extended benefit work search logs. So there's going to be a lot you can.
Yeah, I mean the system is set up to for that initial filing and then for the support that's needed on a regular basis. So it's really set up to be kind of doing it all right there.
Yeah. Do we want to give out the website and the number?
Yeah, it's not going live until July 1st,
July
but
1st.
beginning July 1st. And for folks that are seeing this on the television, probably will be after July 1st. So why don't you go ahead and give us the address?
It's www.mass.gov/DUA.
So it's www.mass.gov //DUA. So, got to get my slashes right?
I got to get mine right. I
get up
guess.
to speed on this slash business. So I did mention that we have Troy helping us out. Now, Troy, I think are you going to switch chairs to do this, or can we move the camera to get an interview? So okay, so we're gonna actually have a chat with Troy, who's the manager here, WCUW, and so want to talk to him. A lot of exciting things happening here. 40th anniversary year.
We're moving into our 40th year here as community radio. Yes,
Well,
very excited by that.
I
40 years. That's great.
Yeah, and I'll be upfront and honest. I had a bit of an issue the other day. I tried to become a member of WCUW. It's a pretty funny story. So I was all proud. Bob Zukowski's in my office, and he's longtime producer here,
Sure.
a member and volunteer here. So I said, Bob, I signed up for the radio station. I signed up. I got my membership dues in, and I'm all set. I just did. I'm all proud and everything. And he says, well, great, all right. So I said, yeah, take a look. Here's my receipt. And he goes, well, that's a different
Different radio station.
I think it was WICN.
Was it a //
Yeah, apparently so. I've been meaning to join. It's just a wonderful resource for the community,
Sure.
and membership driven. And
Well, we'll have
open
to correct that situation.
Well, that's what I'm
and
getting
there's
at.
nothing-
I
there's
definitely
nothing
need
wrong
to-
with supporting WICN as well.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Sure.
Another great station that's out there. So more than happy to do it. But so tell us, 40th anniversary year.
Sure. Well, let's back it up even a little bit further. We were actually founded in 1920 by Robert Goddard at Clark University. Robert Goddard at that time was, obviously an experimenter, and radio in the early years obviously was an experimentation in a new media, and yes, he had the foresight, I suppose you might say, to bring some money together and actually get a radio up and running.
So talk about a visionary,
1920.
though. Here's a man that was
Yes.
involved on the forefront of two major, societal changes in that time.
Yes.
The radio, as you just mentioned, also
Yeah,
is the father of
1920
modern rocketry.
Right
so,
into the 30s and the modern rocketry, exactly.
yeah, talk
Yeah.
about some exciting.
And we were
some
on campus
exciting
there
things.
up until, through the years, and as low, actually just confined really to the campus itself, and then AM signal came along, then an FM signal came along. I believe it was in the early 70s, it could have been 1973, but we incorporated actually in 1973 as community radio. So that's where we sort of take the birthday from.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. But it is, and if you go back for your full history, I believe it's one of the longest.
One of the earliest
Existing-
call signals that was given out, and no, I didn't do any research on that, so don't even ask.
Excellent. But no, exciting history. So, and
Yes.
for 40, and I know that you have a membership drive going on, and it's a great opportunity for folks to get into radio.
Right.
And that's one of the features of being a member of the community radio station is that you can come in, work with staff here, work with some of the shows that have got going on. Maybe
Sure.
even if folks had an idea for a show, how might they go about working
Well,
with?
Bob Zendowski is a perfect example. He had this idea. He approached us with this idea for this very radio show. And Bob has been with us for numerous years as host of the Polka Party that's now on Saturday and Sundays from 2 to 4. Give him a little plug. And, he says, I have this idea for a radio show. And we says, well, put it on paper. And in actuality, you can go to our website, wcuw.org, and just scroll down, and you'll see that there's an application form there for program suggestions, a program suggestion form.
Now, do
and,
folks have to folks can come in and just work with
Sure.
with this?
Well, let's
station
just
too,
to stay
right?
on the website, just briefly, there's also on there a volunteer form. So folks, you'll be coming in as a new volunteer, and also if you have an idea for a program, we ask folks to complete those. And then we do have a process. We have a volunteer coordinator who will reach out to them, and folks will come in and have an interview and find out a little more about the individual and their interests and skill set, that kind of thing.
But just a great opportunity to get
Oh, it
involved
is.
and learn the
It
ropes in
truly
radio
is.
and start with that. I know there have been some alumni from the station here that have
Right.
gone on to professional
They have
careers.
gone on to professional careers, and we're excited in that we are in our 40th year and starting to put together our 40th anniversary party, which will be taking place at the end of October. And I guess I'm officially announcing this right now.
Wow.
Breaking news
great
on the
news.
working lunch.
Working with John Lavin, who was actually the one who put the incorporation papers together and incorporated us community radio. He and another individual here in Worcester. He's actually in California. They're reaching out to all the alumni that they can get hold of, and hopefully the last Saturday of October we're having a big gala, and a lot of those alumni will be coming back. So.
Oh, that's super.
Yes.
Now, how did you make your way here to the station yourself?
Well, I actually, back in my 20s, had an interest in radio. 1979 actually is when I had my very first radio show. Actually, I took it on as a challenge from a friend. This is Fort Wayne, Indiana Purdue University.
Sounds like he dared you to
Well,
Can we have a
kinda,
name of the
sorta.
program? Is there a name for the
Yeah, do you remember the
program
name of
or
the
style?
program?
Can we get
Oh, of
that?
course. Well, it was a jazz program. Actually, I did jazz programming for a number of years. But that was in spring of '79. I had my first show, and it was in 1982. I migrated out here to Massachusetts and was at Tufts University for 3 years, the radio show there, and then moved to Worcester in 1985, and of course found WCUW, and it's here we are
So how long have you been the station's manager?
since 2008.
Okay.
Yeah, past 4.5, going on 5 years now.
Well, it's great, and we appreciate the fact you've been so willing to work with us to create this show and all the other work that you're doing, out in the community is, just been fabulous. And
Yeah, and Troy, I heard you say there's a volunteer coordinator. So besides producing a show, what other kind of volunteer opportunities are available here at the station?
Well, we're always looking for production assistants, folks that sit in this chair as I'm sitting right now, or Bob usually does when he's doing your program. We have opportunities just throughout the day and evening and weekends for this kind of position, shall we say, assisting the on-air DJ.
so learning how to use the equipment,
Exactly.
getting experience, either on both sides of kind of the microphone, if you will,
Right.
For folks. And I know that the range of programming on your schedule kind of speaks to that real community involvement.
It
Everything
does.
from,
it's everything, yeah.
from ska and rap to polka
Doo-wop,
To polkas.
doo-wop,
to
right
doo-wop.
before.
Yeah.